For 50 years, we've been seeing these auto ads on television. Do you ever see an auto ad on television stuck in congested traffic? Do you ever see a new ad for automobiles? You know, and they're going bumper to bumper. No, they're on roads, mountain roads, and all kinds of, it's like there isn't another car on the highway. So you get a sense of freedom and mobility instead of getting stuck in traffic 15 hours a week. People say we have a longer life expectancy in our country. Not if you subtract the years we spent stuck in traffic, we don't. Now, have you ever seen an ad for modern mass transit where people are going to work, sitting, relaxing, reading the paper, snoozing, chatting with their fellow passengers, and moving way ahead of a parallel highway, bumper to bumper, trucks, vans, and cars, with people exhibiting road rage and imbibing pollution and wasting time and getting fatigued? You never see that. And so year after year, you know, we buy into, public transit, snorting buses, and they're not very good, and this and that. We got to go into the vehicle. We have no idea what modern public transit is these days, how flexible it is, how adaptable it is, how little land space it takes up, how minimally polluting it is, how enhancing it is not to have to get to work so exhausted. And yet our whole residential business patterns now have adjusted to the car. How do you get to a mall? Through public transit. But year after year, it gets into it. Someone says, well, some corporate think tank in Washington puts out a report and says, public transit is not economical. Why, don't you see that most of the day, 80% of these vehicles, transit vehicles, buses, subways, are empty? And no one says, yeah, I've seen that, but I also look at crowded highways, and 4 out of 5 seats in every car is empty. But that's okay. It's if we're not paying for it. You think you're paying $1.30 of gasoline per gallon of gasoline, or $1.25? We're paying $50 billion just to safeguard Mideast oil. Crank that into your sales. And all the other subsidies to the auto industry and the highway industry. So we get it direct and indirect. If we just reverberate off the propaganda messages, we don't ask these kinds of questions. And we don't liberate the creative, technical, engineering, scientific, medical talents of our people.